it's safe to say that when I joined and when we changed the KPI and changed the KPIs and said, all right, responsiveness needs to be one of the KPIs. We need to be fast because we're speaking with our customers through chat, and the expectation is that it's got to be immediate and within a week, because we hire people that care. I decreased responsiveness from 20 minutes to under 1 minute.
I'm super excited to dive into the world of customer support with a very special guest, Mara, who is the VP of support at Pipedrive. Mara, it's a pleasure to have you here. How are you today?
Pleasure is mine. Feeling super excited also to be able to be here and share a bit about our world in customer support at Pipedrive. So yes, so all good for both of us, it seems.
Nice. So Mara brings a wealth of experience and insight into the support strategies that drive success at Pipedrive. I don't think we even need to introduce Pipedrive because I believe everyone knows. And the main idea today, Mara, I'm gonna ask you many questions. I don't have a specific track, but the main idea is for people to have an overview of what is happening in support at Pipedrive, but also what has happened, like, from before to today, and what might happen in the future, right? So here we are. So maybe to kick things off, you can tell us a bit more about your role as VP of support at Pipedrive. That'd be great.
So I am VP Customer Solutions at Pipedrive, the best sales CRM out there. For those distracted that don't know, I own the customer support team, also support engineering, solutions engineering. And we were also responsible for tackling self-service and automations within the customer support organization. Basically is to cover all fronts of customer support at Pipedrive. Technical, billing, commercial, whatever the challenge on a customer's plate, wherever these customers sit in the customer journey, before signing up, after starting a trial, after payment, at payment, if they want to give up on us, we're always there.
Okay. Just want to stop you. Like you mentioned, I think like 3 different teams, solution engineers. So this kind of, can you just tell us quickly, like what's the difference so we can understand?
Yeah.
Because, like all support teams sometimes have similar name, but like scopes are very different. So this way, like we make sure to understand.
Yes. And one of those teams is actually new to the game. Because the only thing that is always a constant is change. And if we don't evolve in customer solutions, we become obsolete. So we're always introducing new stuff. So first team, customer support, the core is our tier 1 support. So front and center, speaking with customers regardless of time zones, regardless of language. We're there, front lines. We tackle the simplest technical challenges, but when these challenges become more complex, we resort to support engineering. There are a middleman between us and the engineering tribes, and can facilitate even discussions with these engineering tribes to help solve for technical challenges for customers.
Could we call that like a level 2 support? Or that would be a mistake?
It's a level 2 support, but they're not customer facing. So
gotcha.
they help us backstage with all the technical challenge. They do their magic to make things happen for customers. But it is tier 1 support, customer facing, that manages the conversations and the relationship. Solutions engineers are new to the game. So basically they're a mix, they're a combination between customer facing and technically enhanced, equipped skill set. So these solutions engineers usually jump at conversations with biggest companies, bigger organizations that have really complex integrations, automations, challenges on their plate to be successful. And it's easier to have someone directly in touch with these companies and not having a middleman translate these technical challenges over. So we have this team that can quickly jump on a conversation with whatever customer if the challenge technically is big enough and we want the immediacy in the resolution.
Just to understand, does it mean this is dedicated to like some type of your customer, for example, like enterprise customer, or do you apply this to all your customers?
Not just, but mostly, yes,
Okay.
because enterprise type customers are the ones that do have these highly complex challenges to tackle and usually resort to us for help and advice. Sometimes customers don't even know how to begin using our CRM. So we resort to, obviously, it's a big partnership. Support doesn't do this alone. We have a outstanding sales team selling Pipedrive, explaining the ins and outs of the tool that sometimes resort to solutions engineers for that technical enhanced skill set. Also, customer success organizations that do handle mostly our big organizations that use Pipedrive, the larger organizations using it, they also resort to solutions engineers here and there. But any customer with a big enough challenge, regardless of how big the organization is, can make use of solutions engineers.
Okay, gotcha.
So we
And what?
also use it for as a retention mechanism.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. And what was the internal analysis of like, fuck, we need to create this team, like?
Yeah. So we understood as a group, as a team, that these teams were always resorting to support engineering, and always struggling to get that final outcome and translate that technical outcome over to customers because the skill set was not there. So conversations took longer to be resolved. Usually translating the technical needs and the troubleshooting, the steps, was a hassle for customers because they wanted it to be simple and immediate. So we found it more effective to bring support engineering to the conversations and equip these experts with the skill set so that they're at ease when speaking to someone on the phone or through a video conference.
Okay. Okay, cool. And no,
So
when we're talking,
it was actually a combination of customer feedback, customers saying that, oh God, it's taking a while, and us internally really realizing that, yes, we needed a better way to cope with these apps.
okay, no, makes sense, makes total sense. And so I'm a Pipedrive user, so I never met one of these
Yet, Maxime,
yet, but
yet we need to talk.
So while we're talking about like the structure of the support team, do you have for each team, different position based on, the seniority, I mean, the experience? Like how does that work? For example, if we take like the frontline team, like
Yes, we do. We do have career paths set within the customer support organization. Usually, depending on so we have the organization spread across the globe. We have a big team in Lisbon. We tackle mostly our biggest markets, which are the American and the Brazilian markets. Luckily for us in Portugal, we do speak Portuguese. And then we have teams in Tallinn. This is where our company was founded. We always like to have a good, solid team of experts and customer support expertise in this location. And then we also have a team in St. Pete in Florida, because it's always good also to have someone that is local and understand the ins and outs of even the cultural fit that needs to be there for our American customers. So we are spread to guarantee 24/7 rotation. And depending on the locations, we can have different ways to secure good experts. So we can start with internships. In Lisbon, we have been doing some form of internship to begin with. And then if the internship goes well, we do a contract full time. We start at junior. So that's like level one support. Um, when the juniorship is over and if it's successful, we move to experts, and we can also transition to aspiring manager. And then you choose if you want the managerial path, you go for manager, senior manager, head, or if you go for specialization, you can go into the operations team. So basically be a project manager, a process manager, a trainer, a quality assurance specialist. So basically the teams that are helping the front lines be successful, right? So, or
Nice.
go to support engineering and pursue that highly technical skill set. So that's also a
Which is
possibility
fine too. Yeah.
internally. Yeah, for us.
It's great because like, people tend sometimes to put all the support people in the same basket, but like everyone is so different. And for example, I've met like many like amazing uh, support reps that just didn't want to manage at all. They want to
Mhm.
keep like being by themselves and doing what they love, right? So I really
Yep.
appreciate that. Basically, looks like you have a path for everyone. How big is the organization? I mean, Pipedrive,
Mhm.
and how big is like your support team, just to have an idea, so people realize, because obviously your organization, I mean, you can't set up something like this if you don't have a critical size and a critical growth too. So uh,
Mhm.
can you just
Yes.
tell us so we...
Well, Pipedrive as an organization is close to 1,000 people, and within the customer solutions organizations, it's a bit over 100 headcount. So it's a big enough organization to get
Yeah.
this rotation happening. And I joke with it. I say I run a customer solutions organization, but actually I run a university because it's the entry point for the organization. And I have so many talented people that actually have backgrounds related to marketing, related to sales, and they immerse in the process and the product while they're doing support. But they also look at career opportunities, not within support, but outside of the
Sure.
organization, and move to different areas of the company too. So that's another career path for them that we make available. And I'm very proud to say we have people across the entire organization that have started it within the support realm.
And I have a... This is bring me to basically another question. It's like I see a lot of uh, team who, and it's not a bad thing. It just I feel just because this is the way support is, who hire by the bottom. So what I'm trying to say here is like
Mhm.
basically, like you're gonna tend to promote like people who are at Pipedrive, and hire basically like junior ones and make them grow within Pipedrive. Maybe for like a high level, like manager position, you're gonna look for someone
Mhm.
from outside the organization. But is that something you feel to a Pipedrive, or not really?
So at Pipedrive, I think the biggest difference and advantage, I'd say, is that for some organizations, customer support is the bottom, the bottom
Yeah.
line. So if you don't make it anywhere, well, maybe you'll make it in support. Go try
And
that. Okay. We don't have that philosophy at Pipedrive. You need to make it where you will add the most value, and we need to develop you into that. But we don't feel like, oh, anyone could do support. That's really a
and
myth.
yeah, I can
That's a myth.
confirm. Like,
So,
especially
so
like,
no. So,
I feel if you're looking at the at the um, if you are looking at someone soft skill, maybe support is where like your soft skill is going to be like the most specific and important. Like clearly, like um, I've seen some people and super smart and even like super good communicating, just like, like banging your head against the wall at the end of the first week just because it's not for them. So um,
Yeah.
I see you have like a very, like clear and structured process. How long ago did you arrive to Pipedrive?
6 years ago.
6 years. So
Yes, I
how,
joined 6 years ago.
6 years. Nice. So first, like, how big was the support team when you arrived like 6 years ago? So now
Mhm.
you are
It
like a
was
bit more than 100.
yes, we doubled the organization since I joined.
Okay.
Um, we doubled the organization. Then again, we grew a lot within our customer base also. So it made sense to do that. And we scaled support because when I joined, it was not 24/7 support. It was not multi-language. We didn't have any responsiveness KPIs tied to our performance. Um, it was very different, very, very different. Even the ways of working. As technology evolved and as some forms of communication also come to play to make the customer support activities more proficient, we too needed to evolve. So we didn't have phone support as visible as we have now. Chat conversations were session based and was just one conversation at a time. So it was a very different way to operate. Whilst now we actually have reduced the team recently. So as the team is growing into different new positions, we have been able to downsize the number of experts and still release the same level of service because
Which is
we're
great
scaling
for
also
for
the technology, yeah, to help us.
definitely. And so you mentioned different topics like you set up like those past years. Like, I'm curious, do you have like a clear process about like you looking into like what you want to improve, or is it just
Mhm.
a bit out of the blue saying, hey, like I feel like, we're not great at all with that? And like, what I'm trying to ask you is like, how would you advise someone who would be like you 6 years ago, uh,
Mhm.
you know, they just grab like a new team, like there are a few events and they want to bring into the next level. Like,
Mhm.
what what should they do? Where should they start?
Yeah. Our challenges did change from 6 years ago to now.
Can imagine, yeah.
Today, the challenge is making sure that we're living up to customers' expectations while we scale this technology front. Like we've been experimenting heavily with AI and understanding how we can better support and serve our customers using this technology. So we remove a bit of the human touch from the equation, although we have really caring set of humans taking care of this AI technology and the chatbots for
I
us.
don't doubt
Humans
it.
are always there. Um, but the challenge for us is coping with the demands of being lean and being scalable, maintaining scalability, but still not neglecting customers' expectations and wants and needs. So basically balancing innovation and efficiency with that human touch that we definitely want to keep having.
Okay.
And that sets us apart from the competition, I guess.
I'm sure. And so 6 years ago, what was the challenge when you arrived?
6 years ago, we were definitely scaling the team in a way that we could be faster at getting to every customer wanting help. So because of the methods that we used and, well, the size of the team that was small at that stage, we wanted to be sure that we could scale to the point that we were staffed well enough and we would be delivering that excellence type of service that our customers were used to having and slowly were not getting because they were growing way faster than us.
Yeah.
So the challenge was, all right, how can we make this team omnipresent, fast enough, proficient enough in all languages so that all customers feel they are being supported?
Gotcha.
It's still the same challenge, but at a different rhythm, I guess.
Yeah, I can imagine. And you mentioned a few minutes ago support metrics. If I'm right, you were saying that it wasn't included into performance, something like this. Uh, can you tell us a bit more if we're entering about like like the metrics? Like what I'm not gonna ask you what do you measure because I'm sure you have like a bunch, but which one is or the two or three most important you're like
Mhm.
taking a look, like I don't know if you're taking a look at it like every week
Yeah,
or every month, but
yeah, we have a very specific mission in support to deliver fast, useful answers with a human touch, right? So all our main metrics need to translate the mission and how well are we doing against the mission we set ourselves to do. So responsiveness, resolution times, handling times, those are the fast part of the equation. And then quality will measure, PSAP will
okay,
measure the useful and human touch, right? That will measure how effective and efficient were we, and how much customers feel that we cared. So those are the main metrics, and then we measure the world basically on all cuts and all fronts because we are dealing with humans
yeah,
um, across the globe, which makes it quite challenging. We cannot say it's like, oh yes, I know my customers so well. I need to know all my different types of customers so well, enough that I know the expectations, the wants, and the issues and the challenges that each core segment has for us. So yeah, and we basically measure these main KPIs department level, team level, individually also.
okay,
Because in 6 years ago, we were just measuring it team level or department, if you'd like. Um, but we didn't know, like, and even an expert wouldn't know how much do I contribute for that mission. Am I doing good or am I lower than I should be? So giving them this comparison and giving them the ability to really understand the trends of their own performance in all KPIs helped a lot with development conversations, training needs,
sure.
and specific avenues to develop talent.
So if I understand correctly, let's say Max and Mara is in the same team. My KPIs will be like totally transparent to you, right? You could see my,
Oh
I
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yes, all KPIs very transparent, and we have visibility on how everyone is doing, and we can compare. Why wouldn't we? It's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
know the
No,
KPIs and why they're there. Yeah.
anyway, like usually in a team, like just people are not stupid in the sense that they basically know what the other teammates are worth. Like they know like when someone is really good, they know if they're better, not better or worse. Like faster or slower. Like people tend to know and position themselves. Like like
Yeah, this
this is
just
a
makes
reality.
it tangible.
Yeah,
And I think uh, it's fair to say we cannot change the things we don't know are not working. So this gives visibility and opportunity for us to realize things that are not working as they should or where we are actually excelling at. And gives us also the opportunity to compare against others because it's always healthy not to just look for our own capabilities, but search for like the rock stars that are doing it and nailing it and asking, how teach me because I want to know more about how you do that magic. So yes, it was positive to share these
no.
KPIs.
And I want to get back a bit just to you. I have so many questions, but just like, what is your typical day? Like, what did you do today? Like, for example, this morning, what were you do? What did like? I would love to know, what's a day in Mara's life looks like. Is it like pure management? Do you sometimes jump in a few tickets? Like, what do you do?
Oh, it can change dramatically from one day to the other, because we in in this organization, it's good because it's not a highly hierarchical organization. So I can be talking to someone on a very tactical point and understanding how the bot is doing, what actions are we going to do going forward, and brainstorming around good opportunities for that specific team. I can be having a one-on-one with one of the team members and understanding how we can improve engagement going forward. Or can be actually planning the next offsite where we all celebrate being a great team and enjoying time, spending time together. For this morning, I actually spent a very good portion of time exploring that.
Love it. Nice. What do you mind like sharing a bit like your stack? Like what tools do you guys are using? Also, did you build any like internal tool maybe, to improve like support
Okay.
operation?
Yeah,
We'd love
we
to know
have a
more.
mix of internal tools and vendors that we use for a subset of activities. We have a CRM that we use to manage relationship with customers and establish those conversations. We use a translation tool. Um, we have an internal tool to secure escalations to other teams that use other systems or other CRMs. So we have built an internal tool to secure those escalations.
What do you mean to secure escalation? I'm
Yeah.
not sure I
So
understand.
imagine, Maxime, imagine that next month you'll be a Pipedrive user. I see it happening. And you're
I
talking to the
am a
sales team.
Pipedrive user.
Okay.
I
Good.
I,
Good.
I am.
So, so you have a challenge, right? And or you want to go bigger. You have a good opportunity to explore increasing the number of seats, exploring a different plan. And we actually have a team inside customer success that is just focused on doing that, helping these customers look to explore opportunities to enhance the way they use Pipedrive. So if you would reach out to support and ask for help, we would redirect this, talk to the customer success team, and someone would get in touch with you to have this conversation. So in order for us to escalate this topic to another team, we use this internal tool just to keep the conversations going. Before we use Slack, but we love to understand how many conversations we pass over to other teams. Is it working? Where could we be improving the communication? Time to respond. So Slack was not the best tool for us to really quantify. We used an internal tool as well.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
And we have a huge tech stack because we do so many things to assist customers using these tools. But I think for secure conversations, it's the CRM and the translation tool because we have, well, luckily for us, we have customers around the globe. Sometimes we don't have that language proficiency right then and there, but we use Localize. It's the vendor
Yeah.
we use to secure those conversations.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned AI. I don't want to talk too much about that because I feel it's just like I'm bored of AI right now. But bored in the sense it just like it just every time I have a
It is the
conversation in
flavor,
support
the flavor
yeah.
of the year, I guess.
Which anyway like like I love it, and like I've seen like you can do like amazing thing, and it's super promising and it's the future. But I would be curious, like, what, how are you using it right now, and or how do you think you're gonna use it in in the what do you think is gonna change in the Pipedrive support team in the next 2-3 years?
We have been exploring AI to secure some subset of conversations with customers. We have taken steps to using FinAI. Our CRM is Intercom, and this is one of the features that Intercom has released. So we've been having very solid results because the Gen AI capabilities do make it feel quite human.
Human, yeah.
The conversation, very fluid, troubleshooting's there. So we have been experimenting on that front to be able to actually scale as our number of customers is growing without having so many trains on recruiting all the time and getting humans. Like it becomes very hard to cope with the level of growth we have. So this is a very good introduction of technology to it because we can level and put humans to the more complex situations and let AI solve the simplest
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, I agree. I like to see as a, like a pipeline. I was gonna say like a pipe drive, like a pipeline, where really at the beginning
Yes.
of the pipe you have like this, I would say like low effort tickets,
Mhm.
where basically everything could and should be solved by AI. You said like it feels quite human. Like to be honest, now what I've seen, I could say it feels humans. Like really, like I feel in terms of like it's great at it. But as long as you move into this pipe, like obviously, like low effort tickets need to be dealt with customer.
Yeah.
And I feel for those high effort tickets, probably the value of AI would be more internal in the sense that the customer can't see it, right? But it can
Mhm.
clearly like help the agent. So this is how I like to see things now. But yeah, future.
Yeah. I mean, there's no replacement for human curiosity and care. This
Yeah,
is safe to
that's right.
say. When I say that it's becoming more human-like is the exploratory questions, the wanting to understand. Like uh, with traditional book, this is like either I understood your question and here's the answer,
Yeah,
or there's no way past this.
yeah,
And with AI, the machine is actually trying to learn and converse. Like the conversation is fluid in the sense that was it this or can it be that?
yeah,
And so yeah, it's way likely that the bot will get an answer out that satisfies
yeah.
customers.
Before me, I was always talk to an agent, talk to an agent, talk to an agent. But like because I knew that the bot like could never gonna be able to provide me with the right
Yeah.
answer. What I try now is like really like I'm starting to chat with the bot because eventually I really get like what I need, you know. So
I know,
pre-
Maxine, we're all going through this change, I think. And it is emotional, right? We know we're talking to a machine. It feels unnatural sometimes. But truth be said, if we're patient enough with the technology we now have, yes, these answers will come out. But for some people, it's highly emotional. It's like even when the conversation was successful and the answer was okay, and people write, it helped in the end. They don't give us a good CSAT because they feel I spoke with the machine. I don't know
I
if I
know,
like, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but
So it's still emotional, but I think it's a stage.
yeah, it's a stage, it's a stage, definitely. I've seen it's been like already like 35 minutes, so I'm gonna. I want to jump into I would say more. Um, I don't know if it's technical question, but basically, I have a few for you. Maybe the first one would be like, is there like a specific flow, like even like a small thing that you have set up at Pipedrive that really change the things? So basically, is there basically like uh, I'm gonna reframe this. What is the smallest change you've done that yields the most return um, on an operational point of view?
That had the most return.
Yeah, in a sense, what is this little thing that doesn't take much time? It's not like a 3 months project that if you haven't done it yet, other support teams should do.
Oh, I mean, if it's that quick of a thing, we've done it. We've done it. I'm pretty sure. Um, usually like the return on investment is not that fast. There's no like big thing that we can do that changes things dramatically around. Well, it's safe to say that when I joined and when we changed the KPI and changed the KPIs and said, all right, responsiveness needs to be one of the KPIs. We need to be fast because we're speaking with our customers through chat, and the expectation is that it's got to be immediate and within a week, because we hire people that care. I decreased responsiveness from 20 minutes to under 1 minute.
Yeah,
So
just but
within a week.
yeah,
It, I think
just
that was the most drastic
okay.
transformation.
Yeah, I like that. And just saying, like, hey, we're gonna look at this metric, and okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You
think other changes require more time. I mean, AI will definitely bring return on investment. It's already bringing it, but it's an ongoing journey. We always
yeah,
need to be iterating on it.
you mentioned return on investment. Like I always like to jump on this topic because, like, back in the days, support teams were seen like like a cost center, and still like a lot of teams are seen by their C-level as
Mhm.
a cost center. I
Yeah.
feel in Pipedrive it's probably not the case at all. I don't even have to ask you this question, but is there a way you calculate, like how support helps bring revenue, or is there like how
Mhm.
how do you demonstrate to your CEO basically that Mara and her team has an impact on the revenue side?
Yeah. Well, we're a cost center. Yes, usually call centers are seen are as cost centers, and we're no different because we are a support organization. That number is always there. But fortunately for us, we never needed to prove unequivocally that we are helping, because anyone understanding the way we operate internally know that a customer support organization will add value, because customers getting in touch with us always come with a challenge, right? Either they're
Yeah,
lost or they need help or someone to do it for them or with them. So there's always an opportunity. If we're not there, then how will that customer turn things around, right? So there's always the risk of we not being able to convert or not being able to retain more customers when they hit these roadblocks, right? So we will always be valuable in that sense. Um, but yes, we also understand volume of conversations coming into against total customer base, and from that volume, understanding customers that were intending to trial, did they after engaging with us, and did they churn after engaging with us? These are two metrics always important to keep track of and keep monitoring, obviously, and also compare against those who don't get in touch with support. Um, Another thing that I can say is is a very good action that I advise everyone to do across any organization is we have this fun activity called One Day New Shoes,
okay.
where we invite people from the organization to come live in the customer support shoes for 1 day. And like every executive has done it. We have people from engineering actually asking us for the opportunity to be there and do it, which is amazing, right? They
I
do
love
want to
it. Yeah.
understand what customers are saying and our challenges when getting those solutions out. So we always do this, and I think it's very healthy that people not only they understand customer challenges, what people are asking for when they come in talk to supports and the emotions behind it, right? It's different to look at the number and hear a customer
Yeah.
explain a challenge, but also the challenge for us to manage consecutive conversations at the same time, different languages at the same time, different types of situations at the same time, and still keep smiling and still keep, caring.
Especially because I feel like, other departments, usually takes support. I don't know if it's as granted, but just, they're doing the support, and just by, like usually when you invite them like this after days, they come back to their seat with like a totally different vision, right? So
Indeed.
this is the first comment. And the second comment I have is like, usually companies who are doing what you're mentioning have their support much more centered, I would say, in the organization. This really helped, like basically like putting like, support in the front, of the scene, which it's not always the case. So definitely like
No,
a good practice to follow.
I have to be honest. We're not at the front, but nor do we should we be at the front of the organization. We are holding hands with all critical departments to make the organization successful.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. We have a seat at the table. Obviously, we don't mandate what the destiny of the organization should be, but we definitely contribute.
Yeah.
And within Pipedrive, everyone's a salesman because, we want the product to be used and we want to have more customers and we want everyone to experiment with Pipedrive, but we are also all support agents in a sense. So I think this is what makes our magic work.
Yeah, I like that. You mentioned you have like many users, many agents, many users too, but many agents like with like customer speaking different languages, different time zone. How do you manage like shift handovers? Like if I'm talking, with Mara and like that's the end of your shift, like what's happening in the back scene?
Yes, so we do have a reassignment automation in place so that no conversation is left unattended, even if that agent is out of the shift already, because we work 24/7, but we don't work 24/7. People obviously have a life, and they work the legal standard shifts, obviously, because we want them to be happy and have a life. So usually what we do is we use automations to secure that a conversation, as soon as I leave, is reassigned to someone else that can take over, is working still, and will take over. We have also used AI to sum up the conversation so that whoever is taking that conversation can quickly read an extract and understand what's going on. But we also we let customers know that this is happening. So I'm ending my shift. This can move over to a colleague of mine, or if you'd like, we'll go back to it tomorrow. So we pretty much leave it open because sometimes customers don't really appreciate the handover. And they say, no, I'm okay to wait. You and me, we talk tomorrow. So we leave the conversation there on hold and then go back to it for the next.
Yeah, I guess it depends also on the urgency of the issue and type of customer and many things. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, cool. Maybe to enter like in kind of like the last questions. If I'm new like at Pipedrive support team, like how does it look like? Like, is it like a 1 month training? It's like a 3 months training. Like, what's the process for onboarding people?
Yeah, full onboarding, we give it 3 months. We have a 2-week immersion just on our product so that people understand the ins and outs of the product. We also have a very good briefing around how we're organized internally, what every department does, how we connect to each department, responsibilities, roles, basically the ins and outs of our internal processes. And then we start moving into the internal tools. What tools we use to check customer data, to translate, to talk to customers, and we go through the tooling. Then slowly we start introducing conversations. very, very slowly. It's a gradual introduction to customers,
Okay.
because we don't like only proficient experts will have access to multiple conversations at the same time. Um, Graveyard shifts, so those shifts where not that many backup exists to help with questions or doubts. So we gradually onboard to make the team members proficient enough to be left alone or more alone to do their jobs. So it takes usually 3 months for an expert to have like a full ramp up.
To be up and ready.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then after that um, we have certifications in place so that they can technically enhance their skill set. Because there's so much that we can explore technically, and curiosity is definitely there to understand like how many integrations can we do for a customer. Infinite, because there's so many softwares out there they can integrate with Pipedrive. So just on that, it's a specialization in itself. So usually we
Sure.
take time and make sure that people that are performing well, no need to develop on their current roles, can take these certifications and progress technically.
Okay. Okay. And when you say like is- you start like moving slowly into conversation, does that mean like the first day maybe you give me just like 2 or 3 conversation?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
one conversation at a time, usually with a trainer or a quality assurance specialist or your manager coaching you through it and introducing you to the conversations, to then starting adding more. Sometimes you start with emails because the expectation is actually of slower response. It's okay. So you start with emails just to make sure that you have time to really think those questions through and get the very solid response out. Then we move to chats and gradually introduce more chats onto your pipeline.
And I think at the beginning of our conversation you mentioned phone support.
Mhm.
Do you mean like phone calls or do you mean like some like Zoom calls? Like and
It can be phone, it can be Zoom. It's whatever the customer wants. It has
okay.
voice, so
Okay.
it's easier, it's more immediate.
But
But yes, it can be a Zoom call or it can be phone.
does that mean if on Pipedrive I go and I ask, hey, I want to have a call with someone, they're gonna tell me yes? Okay. But because like
Depends. Yeah,
okay,
depends.
depends
Phone
because
support it
internally
is not
it's
available. Yeah.
okay because internally like do you have like a team specialized into this or how does it work? Because I guess like what like I mean phone calls is just something so different from all the rest.
Yeah.
So you need to have
We
specific
we
trainings.
secure secure specific shifts,
Okay.
but we equip everyone with the possibility of doing phone support.
Okay.
But usually, as you mentioned in the beginning, there are people that are way more prompt to engage on the phone, and people that are
Yeah.
rather happy, like being there backstage. Nobody sees my face, nobody hears
Yeah.
my voice. So usually we don't have that many phone conversations to tackle. So we go with the experts that are more likely to engage in these phone calls without that level of stress and anxiety
No, because
added to it.
in reality it's always like yeah. I mean, I've seen many team moving to the we're gonna provide the phone support, and I know it's I mean internally, from the outside, just
Yep.
you had a number and basically that's it, or like a Zoom link, but like internally, just like, I
Yes,
mean, a lot
it's
of
way
work.
more challenging,
Yeah.
definitely. Within Pipedrive, we do offer phone support for specific segments of customers depending on your plan. So it's only for a subset of customers that we offer this possibility. And truth be said, although it's out there for most of our customers, the majority is very happy with the
With
engagement
the
through
chat or
chat.
the, yeah.
Um, it's the way the world is going now. Like WhatsApp conversations are big, and so chat is becoming a thing, the thing for
Yeah.
engagement. So yeah, majority customers still prefer chat over phone.
Okay, cool. I think we are coming almost to the end. I always have one or two questions to close this conversation, so I'll move ahead with that, if you don't mind. So, first question: what is one thing you wish more people understood about the role of support at Pipedrive?
Can you go back to the question?
Yeah, sure. So the question is like, is there something, do you feel that there is something that people don't really get about support at Pipedrive? But I mean, people outside of the support organization, is there something you feel
Yeah.
that you wish that people outside from your support organization will understand better?
Outside of my organization, I think there's a lot of clarity on what we do and why we do what we do. I don't think there's that big of a challenge. Inside Pipedrive, at least, I think our executive team really knows the value and understands the value of having a support organization. I don't think everyone knows how hard it is to be a customer support rep.
Yeah.
And because it is an entry level job, usually seen as an entry level job, um, it it's immediate to think it's the easiest because it's the first step. It's not. It's actually one of the hardest jobs out there. But I think we are very lucky in the sense that the organization knows. Everyone at Pipedrive knows because we've been evangelizing what support means and how we do what we do every day. Um, One good, small but good example: every time there's a bank holiday somewhere, we have our internal comms team go onto Slack and say, "Hey guys, in Lisbon, there's going to be a bank holiday on the 10th. Thank you so much for our support people that will still be working today." I mean,
Yeah.
it's visible. They know. They
Yeah.
know we will still be working, and they thank you. They thank us for it. So I think it's the uh, we feel proud of being in support and doing support. So yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm very lucky in that sense. Very, very
Nice.
lucky with this organization.
Is there something like looking back uh, of your looking back at your 6 years at Pipedrive, is there something you would have uh, changed, or would have liked it differently? Or is there
Differently.
something you would have done differently, if you could go back? Or no, it's fine too, huh?
Well, I think yes. In the beginning when I joined, and this is personal challenge. In the beginning when I joined, it was very clear what needed to change. It was very clear for me because I had the background. I've done these types of projects before, and seen those types of challenges. So I went fast and furious changing things. Um, and I felt they'll trust they'll trust that this will work, right? And then it was a bit of a chaotic moment where people said, "But are you sure this will work? I don't know. Anxiety is building." So probably today, looking back, I would definitely have bet more on communication
Okay.
and then starting jumping at the opportunities of doing it because it would have been done anyway, but it would have been way easier.
Okay.
But learn as you go. So
Yeah.
I did learn. Yeah.
No, but that's a really good advice though, because when you arrive from outside and take care of like a team, I mean, not everyone gonna trust you, right? So I feel it's a really great advice.
Indeed. Indeed.
Um,
You can just, get there and say, trust me, I know this. I am a solid professional. This is going to work. No, it's like there's got to be different ways and approaches to sell the ideas and communicate to teams. And we have been doing that for these six years. So yeah, no more friction in that sense. But in the beginning, definitely there was like,
yeah, no, but I feel you. Cool. Is there, to finish, anything else you'd like to add that we haven't covered? Or
No, not really. I just want to thank you again for the opportunity. It's always great to be able to speak about the work we love to do, and give a bit more visibility on the solid job my teams are doing inside Pipedrive. And to be honest, the great partnership that I have with other departments too. And kudos to them also, because uh, we could be doing a very solid job internally to support, but then we would die alone with no information from marketing, no help from product or engineering. And this is not the case. We have solid partnerships going. So yeah, this is always a good opportunity to voice this.
Okay. The nice was very like it was a pleasure to having you on the show. Thank you so much for your time, Mara. And I guess if anyone listening want to get in touch with you, maybe the best is LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I missed you right at the
No,
end.
no worries. I was gonna say like if anyone want to get in touch with you, like people listening, I guess maybe like the best way is to write you on LinkedIn.
You can search for me on LinkedIn, or just email me at dot Vicente at pipedrive.com. I'll be there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Take care and have a wonderful end of your day. Bye bye.
Thank you, you too, Maxine. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.